Sony's compact cinema line hasn't exactly seen a refresh lately, but now, finally, the FX2 is here. A bit modest in some specs, sure, but definitely injecting new life into the lineup. Hi everyone, I'm Johnny from CineD, and today I'm holding the Sony FX2 in my hands. And let me tell you, this little camera is punching well above its weight. It's officially part of Sony's cinema line and sits just below the FX3. Now, on paper, you might think it's an entry-level model, but dig a little deeper and you will see it actually has a few features that even the FX3 doesn't offer. So, is it worth our attention? Let's take a closer look. Let's start with what this camera brings to the table. We are looking at a 33 megapixel full-frame sensor, which by the way may or may not have been seen in previous alpha models. It records 4K up to 30p full-frame oversampled from 7K and 4K 60p in Super 35 oversampled from 4.6K. For photography, this is a real hybrid. Sony added a physical switch to toggle between movie and stills. There is also a new shortcut to enable log shooting in RAW photo mode, with future support in DaVinci Resolve for developing those RAW stills. For now, Sony recommends JPEG or HEIF if you want color consistency with XAVC clips. The built-in EVF tilts 90 degrees. Thank you, Sony. And the new Big 6 quick menu from higher-end cameras is now here too. I love this. It's fast, simple, and easy to modify. Now, in terms of media, there are two card slots, one SD slot and one combo slot that supports both SD and CF Express Type A. A small downgrade compared to the dual CF Express slots on the FX3, but for most workflows, it should be fine. Also worth mentioning, the camera has two tripod mount threads underneath, and like its siblings, it's offer 1.3 and 2 times D-squeeze display function for anamorphic work. The autofocus also gets a boost. With the AI chip inside, you can now leave the recognition mode on auto and let the camera decide between humans, animals, vehicles, you name it. To test it out, I filmed a mini doc in a cozy Greek taverna in Vienna, run by Thanos and his family. Let's watch this first before we come back.
I'm not into Greek music, just so you know. I mean, I listen to Greek music definitely, but I was brought up into Western music. Definitely Western music, like Oasis was basically one of my favorite bands when I started listening to foreign music. So it was, today is gonna be the day that they're gonna pull me back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. Well, I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Yeah. Just a short version. Yeah. Well, I'm 30 years old and I'm originally from Kos Island of Greece. You know, life was pretty simple. I'm originally from a village called Taverna, which Taverna is based at about now like 1,000 people. Coming from a little bit conservative village and a conservative community, I would say. I figured out pretty soon, like when I was a teenager at about 13 to 15, kind of had a mind on my own and was brought up around different cultures and different mentalities and mindsets of people from all around the world. I figured that it's not all about the beautiful blue and the sea and the beautiful sky and the good weather and all. It's something more out there. So basically, my adventureness hit me to move out, experience a little bit, a couple of things and find my fortune, basically, you know? It is very, very complicated being in a Greek family, but it's beautiful. My family, we were a bit old school, so like I was brought up very strict, very disciplined, you know, but also love in between, you know, because you cannot always be to your kid like, this should be like this should be like that, you know, from your mother's side or from your dad's side. It's different discipline and things that are being said basically. My grandmother would be my second mother, because I grew up with her till I was 12. So since I was a baby till I went to 12, she played a major role in my life. She would have both qualities of a man and a woman. So whenever like my parents wouldn't be around me because they would work a lot, she would do both. She would definitely do both. So she's my stone, she's my keeper, she's my angel. As much as like maybe over saying it would sound, she is my everything, definitely. I care so much about her and I love her to pieces. My mother would be the equalizer, I would say. Like whenever you are, you know, as a boy or as a young kid or as a man, as a grown up, when you feel a bit lost and everything is kind of like loud up there, kind of like not knowing what you want to do, she would be my safe space, you know, a big hug, a kiss on the cheek, and food on the table, everything clean, everything prepared. My father, hardworking, very strict, very disciplined, but a huge heart. My brother is 8 years younger than me. We have a huge gap between us, just growing up together and kind of like feel each other and test each other and bumpy heads sometimes, you know. It's who defines our relationship that we have right now, and it's beautiful. I literally love every minute of it. We fill each other's gaps, I would say, you know, because we're like day and night, me and him. My first bouzouki. Well, my first bouzouki, I have it with me here. I brought it with me from Greece. It was a present from my father, actually, because he saw I had a bit of a different touch into music. You know, I would sing the whole time, and you know, and he said like, I want to buy you your first instrument, and that would be bouzouki. So being a Greek and all, he told me, why don't you learn bouzouki? And bouzouki was my breakthrough, I would say. My breakthrough into learning an instrument, you know, because I played bouzouki by myself from 13 to 15. And then I saw that it was not enough for me, and I kind of like switched up to the guitar, but bouzouki was my origin, definitely.
Are you courageous enough to play something or no courage?
Oh, it's half functioning, because it's been there for like ages. I haven't played for it for like over a decade, but I can give you a bit of a taste of how it sounds like, and if it's okay for you, I can explain why it sounds like that, right? Yeah, okay. Hopefully I don't throw it down. Okay, whew, it's all dusty, Jesus. So this is how it looks from afar. Hold on a second. This is my first ever bouzouki. Pretty weird looking instrument. It has a couple of cracks because it fell off many times on the ground. So this is basically the traditional instrument in Greece. To sing and play simultaneously would be very hard. Don't know any like Greek songs, unfortunately. Like it's basically μια φούντωση, μια φλόγα που έχω μέσα στην καρδιά. Λες και μαγιά μου έχεις κάνει, Φραγκοσυριανή γλυκιά. Λες και μαγιά μου έχεις κάνει, Φράγκο Συριανή γλυκιά. Yeah, a metal singer singing Greek songs, like, yeah, that's a first. So my dad came with the idea of opening up a restaurant. So I wasn't really into you know, like business or whatever. I have no clue or whatsoever. The only clue I had was being a host, and it's nothing different than what we did at home. Basically, you know, we had guests basically, and he would push me like, "Hey, I want to do a restaurant with you. I want to try it with you and everything, to kind of like try our limits, our capabilities, you know, as much as in a business-wise, but also in a hospitality-wise, you know, being into a foreign country, you know, because to have a different culture in another different culture. What we offer over here is what I eat at home, like what my mom makes for me at home, or my grandma makes for me at home, basically, and kind of like presenting this part of my culture. So my culture is basically my home. And so far, I would say, people show a lot of love, you know, a lot of understanding, you know, they get it. Yeah.
A big thank you to Thanos and his family for his kind hospitality. Now, I love working with anamorphic lenses, so I experimented using the Blizzard Apex AF 133 lenses. Yes, they are made for Super 35, but with the FX2 clear image zoom set to 1.2x and the camera in full frame mode, I got great results. Autofocus worked well and edge softness was also eliminated. Internal audio quality is solid too. For solo shooters, the quality of the onboard preamps is crucial, and I was impressed. In CineEI mode, I appreciated having the two native ISOs, 800 and 4000, for optimal exposure when shooting in S-Log3. Now, it's not all perfect. For starters, if you want to shoot 4K at 50 or 60p, you will have to switch to Super 35 mode. Also, 100 frames per second is in HD only. Not a deal breaker for most, but worth knowing. Another quirk, if you want 24p, you only get it in 4K DCI. UHD in 24p, not an option. Also, because of the built-in EVF, Sony had to sacrifice a few accessory mount points. And if you're using a wireless audio receiver on top left, you may find it interferes with the EVF tilt. Using Sony's XLR handle, where is this? I have it right here. Using this handle will solve the problem. So just keep this in mind. As I mentioned before, I shot everything in anamorphic mode, but I'm sorry to say that it's still not a strength here. Autofocus and sensor stabilization won't work when the internal discrete display is turned on. So if you want both features, leave discrete off in camera and frame accordingly. One curious menu item, ND filter. No, the FX2 doesn't have a built-in NDs. This is just a metadata tag to mark your external ND strength, which could be handy in multicam shoots. Conclusion. All in all, the FX2 is a very compelling package, especially at $2,699 for the body. That makes it the most affordable cinema line camera from Sony. And for many creators, this is a serious upgrade from mirrorless without the bulk of higher-end rigs. It's not perfect. I do wish 4K 60p was full frame, but it's compact, powerful and well thought out. And for me, the built-in tiltable EVF is a reason enough to use this camera for my kind of doc work. So what do you think? Does the FX2 check the boxes for your needs? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you guys, and until the next time.